Hey, it's Michael Douglas. Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Pundit, where we talk about music, not medicine. And on this week, I guess, the week of July 19th, 1986, 39 years ago, Genesis as an act scored their first and only #1 hit on the pop charts. Genesis had a legendary run from the late 60s, specifically 1967, to around the year 2000. With a few reunions off and on throughout the 21st century. And with humble beginnings, they launched an album that was critically hated. The prog rock outfit, which is how they began, rose from the ashes, defied the odds, and notably did so with the addition of Phil Collins. And what was that #1 hit? The title cut from the 1986 album, Invisible Touch. 1977 was the first time they appeared on the Billboard Hot 100 with a track called Your Own Special Way. That song went on to hit number 62. But they pretty much, under Peter Gabriel's direction, before Phil Collins joined the band, was still on that progressive rock kind of bandwagon where they really weren't interested in top 40 hits. All that seemed to change when Phil Collins joined the band. Now, unless you were around in 1986 or a diehard Genesis fan, you may not be familiar with the tune Invisible Touch. Now, that was the summer after I graduated high school, before I started college, so I was very familiar with it, of course, and I bought the Invisible Touch album on cassette. But I think it's a special song because it was dance rock kind of oriented, and it was a track that had a lot of mass appeal, and it was only fitting that that song went all the way to #1. Now, what was the song Invisible Touch really about? Well, according to Phil Collins himself, Invisible Touch has quite a few influences. One of them being, believe it or not, his ex-wife, a woman named Andrea Bertorelli. Now, he was married to her from 1975 to 1980. He noted the song was about people who got under the skin, hence the title Invisible Touch. Collins also admitted that he was influenced by Prince and Sheila E. for the percussions part of this song. And at this time, Prince was riding high with his Parade album with music from the movie Under the Cherry Moon. The movie kind of flopped, but the song Kiss was a big hit in that era, and earlier, actually, a few months earlier in 1986. And so Prince was riding high. Phil Collins was directly influenced by much of the sound that Prince had at that time. Now, of course, Invisible Touch is loaded with great songwriting, excellent hooks. It was a collaborative effort as well. Phil Collins wrote the lyrics, contributed to the composition. Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford from Mike and the Mechanics, their band, also contributed to the composition as well. Now, interestingly enough, Invisible Touch would later be knocked from #1 by Peter Gabriel, the former Genesis frontman. He took the top with the smash Sledgehammer. Collins joked about being usurped by his band's former singer after the fact. And he admitted that Genesis members really didn't know that was Gabriel that knocked him from the top spot. I find that hard to believe. Nowadays, of course, everyone knows about movements on the chart. They don't need countdown shows to put them on the edge of their seat, listening on the radio, a la American Top 40 decades ago, finding out, oh, what is the #1 song in the country? You know, it's as soon as it is announced on Billboard's website, it's out there. So there's that. So Phil Collins said decades later, I recently read that Peter Gabriel knocked us off the #1 spot with Sledgehammer. We weren't aware of that at the time. If we had been, we probably would have sent him a telegram saying, congratulations, bastard. You know, Invisible Touch is a great song. It really reminds me of that summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year in college. The year 1986 was packed with a lot of great music, including Genesis, and this album, Invisible Touch, gave them 5 top 5 smashes, including Invisible Touch. The other 4, Throwing It All Away, which hit #4, Land of Confusion, which hit #4, In Too Deep, which hit #3, and Tonight, 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 which also hit #3. 2 #4 songs, 2 #3 songs, and the #1 smash, Invisible Touch. 5 solid top 5 singles from that album. So just a great album, a great era, and the album I think sounds great today. So Genesis, their only #1 hit, was a fantastic hit, and I still listen to it to this day. And if you've never heard it, you should give it a try. But the whole album is a fairly decent album. And the song Tonight, Tonight, Tonight actually, I think, got its start from a beer commercial, if I'm not mistaken, Michelob or something like that. But the album version is just a 9 to 10 minute opus there. So there's kind of a beginning, middle, and an end. And so that's an excellent song as well. I'm Michael Douglas. If you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And as the late great Barry White always used to say, let the music play. And I'll see you on the next episode.